thanks to Ghana Music Live, they have provided these details. So VGMA 22 has these nominations, facts and figures. Total nominations 215. Total nominations 215. Total nominees 111. Total male nominations 86. Total male nominations 86. Female nominees 24. Ghanaians nominated 97. Foreigners nominated 14. Total categories 29. Now some 2 new categories have been added to the VGMAs. So we have the Afrobeat Afropop Artist of the Year, and we have EP of the Year. That is the Afrobeat Afropop Artist of the Year and EP of the Year. We have 8 song categories, 9 artist categories, and 17 other categories. Remember, 28 categories are Ghanaian, 1 is international. 28 categories are Ghanaian people in there only, and 1 is international. And we have categories with most nominations, and that was the Vodafone Most Popular Song of the Year with 12 nominations in there alone. Categories with least nominations, that is Group of the Year, with just 4. Provided by Ghana Music Live. So when we come back, we're going to put together all these details to do our discussions on the VGMA. And we have some questions that my producer has asked all the gentlemen here in the studio to be helping us to answer them. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. When we come back, the discussion resumes. We are going for a quick commercial break. We are doing this in the next 5 minutes or less. Let's talk about the nominations now. And one of the new things that the VGMA has brought this year is the introduction of the 2 new categories. That is the Afrobeat Afropop Artist of the Year and EP of the Year. Otin, what do you think about this addition? What do you think about the new introductions for the VGMA? 2 new categories, Afrobeat Afropop Artist of the Year and EP of the Year.
I think it's very good. Innovation is the way to go in terms of this is a public institution.
Okay.
They dwell on what the musicians produce or do most. And you realize after some time, when they realize the albums were not coming, people are doing more EPs.
Yeah.
Why don't we then add the EP to it? So just in case the album doesn't come. Because when you check out the EP, most of the time the album will come, you have this whole song from the EP on there with just 1 or 2 additions. But if this is what they are doing instead of that, well then let's acknowledge it. You know, Afropop now is a world thing. When you go to all platforms, way back some 6-7 years ago, you wouldn't find Afropop on the genres. But now when you go to all the platforms, you see Afropop. So you can choose Afropop actually instead of like the world. It used to be world music. Now you can choose Afropop, which then directs to wherever is coming from. So I think it's very good. If this Asaka music it stands the test of time and it proves itself, just like Afropop has come to stay and has proven itself over time, I believe gradually, why not? They will still open and keep adding new innovations there to broaden, so that it wouldn't be for just a section of some people, or as to which people that's what gets or get to deserve what is given, but then everybody. So I think this is a brilliant and kudos to them.
I'll ask another question on there, but let me also ask Mike just what he thinks about the new introduction, the 2 new categories.
Yeah, I think it's moving with the times. It's important to stay current, and that's exactly what they've done. I think there was some kind of a campaign almost at one point with Kelvin Boy and stuff like that. And
for Kelvin Boy, Afrobeat thing, he has really fought hard.
And even with that, like I feel like there was some potential like misinterpretation of maybe what he was trying to like advocate for and stuff. But overall, I think it's a positive thing. It's positive. The more genres, the better, and especially genres that are currently relevant is key. And also from a strategic perspective, it would be ridiculous for them to have not done that, because then you're just cutting yourself out of the market, because if everybody's talking about Afropop and recognizing it as a global genre, and
Music
you're
trends,
not, you know, I was talking to George Quay this morning, for example, and you know, he was reiterating that obviously he doesn't work there anymore, but that from his perspective is still the biggest, you know, award scheme sub-Sahara, you know. So for an award scheme of such caliber to not have those type of genres like Afropop and stuff, I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. So they have to do what they have to do.
I have been part of a conversation that says that the introduction of EP of the year will start making artists lazy, in the sense that they will now not think about working very hard in putting out albums, but they'll just get 2, 3. Have an EP.
Look, there was even an interview with Beyonce the other day, and she said something that is so true. Artists are not making albums anymore. Like that is just not the industry that we're in currently. Do you understand? I don't think it's a up and coming artist problem, or, you know, just across the board because of streaming. Look, let me break it down very quickly, right? Back in the day, if you liked a song on an album, right, and it wasn't released as a single, the only way you could get that song is if you bought the album, right?
That's true.
Like, you have to buy the album, maybe at track number 7, but it's not a single. To listen to track number 7, you have to buy the CD and listen to the whole album, right? So effectively, people were making a lot more money because by force you're going to buy that album.
Exactly.
Then when iTunes came into the market, it started to completely destroy the concept of an album, because you could purchase whichever song you like, even if it's not a single. You could just click on that song, 79p or $1 or whatever. Now, you know, open the Wii. Do you get me? Then streaming came in, and with streaming, it was even more enforced in terms of song by song. Do you understand? And what happens for artists now is, say for example, Audiomack or Spotify or whatever, if you drop a whole album, right, only 1, maybe 2, if you're lucky, songs are gonna get onto the huge playlist. They are not going to put all of your songs from your album on
the playlist,
because it just doesn't work. Like, no one artist, no matter who you are, is gonna have 10 spaces on New Music Friday Spotify playlist. So what does the artist have to do to make sure that they keep their investment going? They have to drip feed the songs one by one, even if it's every Friday we drop a back or crowd, then it can spread out onto the playlist, etc., etc. So the way we consume music is totally different, and it doesn't allow us to consume albums how we used to. But at the end of the day, we still need to have some kind of body of music. So technically, an EP is anything from sort of like 3 songs to 7. Like, that's like, you know, I don't know how it is in Ghana, but that's like the general. So at the end of the day, people have to still package some kind of, you know, delivery of music, but people are chopping up their albums.
So the conversation that it is going to make artists lazy is not right.
I don't think so. No, I just think that's
just the way to go now.
I just think it's how people consume music now. People consume music by playlists, and they pick what they want, and they create their own albums, which we now know as playlists.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Adam, still talking about the introduction of the EP of the year and Afrobeat Afropop Artist of the Year. I'm even getting notifications.
And there was another one which is like, they have modified this. People are not talking about it. I think last year we had a conversation here about the best rapper of the year. This time around, it is known as the best rap performance, because we were saying that, are you talking about all the raps the person has done in the year or a particular song? You need to, you know, like it is done in other international awards, and they heeded to that. This year, it is the best rap performance. So they bring the song. It can be even a song you were featured, but you rapped on the song. Then they say, okay, based on your rap on this song, we think you are the best, you had the best rap performance. So that change,
that definition
has also been done.
And you think it is positive?
It is positive, because
so on a particular song, your performance will determine whether you qualify as the best rap artist.
Of course.
Okay.
So that someone will not say, Kwawi rap band, or you can listen to the best rap performance on that song and know that indeed.
But is it the performance of on the record or performance live
on the record?
On the record.
So
yes,
when you look at
like the delivery on the record.
So if you look at the nominees, they have the song attached to their name.
Okay. But is the category definition for VGMA 22 is that out?
It should be out now that the nominations are out. It should be out.
Okay.
Yeah, and Data will get that for us as early as possible.
And I think it is a good way to go, especially with the EP, because it's like it has become the order of the day. And if it becomes order of the day, it means there is something triggering that. And when that thing is not checked, now there are no executive producers, record labels are not there, and albums are capital intensive when it comes to production and promotion, distribution. So when that thing is not stopping anywhere, it means that the thing of the EP will go on for a very long time. So it is good you recognize it so that those who are doing it will feel that there is some standard check so that they up their game. So for me, I think it is a right step.
Want it maybe with time cancel out album of the year, because now we also know how artists would want to work with speed. In the next year or two, he wants to always put out a new work. If now I'm going to get recognition for a compilation of just 5 songs body of work and I'll get recognition, why should I wait to do a full album? And with time, I am scared that it might cancel out album of the year.
You see, the situations of musicians are not the same, and the focus and directions are not the same. Maybe an artist A wants a certain kind of repertoire. Artist A is aiming a certain kind of recognition that differs from artist B. So doing of albums and EPs depends on the goal of the artist and his management. And if they feel it's important for them to do, they will do. This year, they have been recognized. We still have album of the year category, and we got songs, and even some didn't get it. Some were not nominated for the album of the year. It tells you that we have them. I'm not sure it will stop.
I don't think it can cancel it.
Yes. And even this is happening world over.
Yeah.
And it's not a Ghana thing.
Because at the end of the day, an album, is a bigger project. Overall. It's more investment, it's showing more creativity, it's a bigger project. So it's a bigger brother, it's a bigger boy than an EP. So I feel like I can't see it cancelling out. But what will happen though is that it will become almost like a natural thing that somebody starts with singles, then when they have some kind of demand,
they do EP.
for a body of work, then they'll do an EP. Then when now you have the budget and everything else to back it,
the budget is never coming for artists. The artists get money, and some of them, it is so hard for them to reinvest that money. So that budget you are talking about, I wonder how to. I think wait, let me listen to Yal Gray on the additions. And no, sir, onon kasai intima onon kasabi. There's another point. The Ghana Music Live did not add. And this one is thanks Kwabena Radio for calling my attention to it. He says it seems they have best international song as well, and here as meaning Ghanaian artist featuring a foreign artist on. I guess that wasn't also part of their list. Yeah, I saw something like that as well. Yes, they say EP no munana moye unsu jina mubi.
Really, I don't think EP will overtake like albums, artists behind it, where they are looking at. Because Shatta Bitimaka said Newman continue releasing EP, but he's working on album. Stonework could do the same. Sarkodia can do the same. So to me, there are still certain examples such as the album really is the thing. I don't think every record label will also just love to see their artists just dwelling on EPs. Some will also love they will do that. But me happy about is somebody fighting a fighter in the fight in a recognition, and that's Kevin Boy.
Yeah.
He started this and it looked like he's biting more than he can chew. But today, FS saw Tiasi. na esi obi timi de tu no ho so ne opebia say me na me concern to kwan because all started here no do na couple of artists really wanted that to happen, but nobody voiced out. Apart from him really taking it to a certain level to gain even people hate him for all that. So I really want to big him up. Say, yo man, award crown and we need beer. What contributed to something that ever one kasawoba and asawanana no more or moba, and that's what he stands for, and I'm really happy for that.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I agree. Now there are some questions I would want you guys to try give me answers, especially after. Say again.
I will do my second before you do.
Which second?
Then I have some issue to address. But go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. One is after the nominations of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, I've seen some talkability from industry experts on social media, some saying that but this is exactly what 3 Music Awards gave us. And out of some of these discussions, I'm asking some questions that what will be some of the advantages and disadvantages of us having maybe multiple music award schemes in Ghana? Because so many talk in town. Over here, what the guys did. Because remember, 3 Music Awards also introduced the EP of the year. And now it has also been captured in the VGMAs. Meanwhile, we are praying for multiple schemes. Some nominations, just as 3 Music Awards gave us, almost the same for VGMAs. Is it wrong? Are we, as much as 3 Music Awards has come to stay, are we expecting them to be entirely different from the VGMAs? So why all this talk? So one, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of a multiple award schemes in our industry or multiple award schemes in our industry? Are we expecting VGMA and 3 Music Awards to have different nominations with maybe similar category understanding like EP of the year? Are we expecting to see the same EP of the year categories as they were represented in the 3 Music Awards? Let's have some answers. Or maybe you can start because you were saying something, then you bring it in, you continue.
Sammy. EP Pape Womu 5. 5 Nasa 3 Music Aqua Researcher unsa papa ne woman 5. Na VGM so ashuma so no crap papa ne woman so 5 in tears you are nominated. What is wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong. And you see, there's one thing that we should always know. You see, if you've been around men who have 2 wives, they will tell you how they too all behave themselves. Because if number 2 doesn't behave, number 1 is behaving, so he will be getting all the sleepovers. So number 1 has no choice than to behave because we are there. This is an industry. These awards is for the industry. So if someone toils to get all the research done, as much as you can disagree with 1 or 2, everything entirely can't be swept off, under the carpet.
No, so far.
You no pay your research.
But will they? Do you think that on their board meetings or during their board meetings, do you think they would take, for instance, EP of the year? This is what say 3 Music Awards did. Do you think they would consider that, or they would throw them away? They wouldn't use anything.
If they have to do that,
they have to do what?
If they realize 3 Music has done something positive,
okay,
and they throw it away because 3 Music as a country we even have that issue. MPP will start a road, NDC will come and say this road is on hold because we don't know the fans what, and we put it on hold, and they will start another road somewhere. MPP will start a building, NDC too will start a building. MPP will come and say no, we won't continue because we don't know where the fans are.
When a better fans.
So say we won't continue. But what they have forgotten is it's none of their mother's money. It is we, the taxpayers, our money. So what do? Whether we're going to look into it or we don't look into it, we make sure the project keeps going to elevate who? Not the party, the country. So if somebody does something right and is good, what does it go on to elevate? It elevates the industry and our credibility and how well we all can come to understand, say, because second opinion means positivity is there. That doesn't guarantee a win, because ebi ananipa 4,000 vote to ma academy vote say we vote say, but uchanye ebi ababa Vgma no 4,000 ebi ana dan show mo into no 2,000 penny vote academy vote say we vote say. So we can have the same people in the same basket, but we cannot guarantee the same wins for the same wins when it comes to this and that. So I think, sir, when people deserve, give it to them. But as to who become the utmost winner is determined by the vote and all that comes up. And one thing that I was addressing is the EP bit and the album bit. If you're an artist and Ghana is your benchmark, you can keep doing your EP. You understand?
Why you think if you do an EP you are limited?
No. What I'm saying is, if you are an artist and Ghana is your benchmark, you can still keep doing your EP. Because the last time I checked, Grammy
was not recognizing EPs.
Headies
was not maybe now that I started from
as I said, the last time I checked, I said they won't. I didn't say they won't. I said the last time I checked, they were not recognizing all of them. But the album bit that has slowed, I'm putting it on record, is because of Sabi and Kwasi Anyuma lately. That is what has given the irrelevance to albums. Because obitimi ya nyom bako ono ankasa tan otin kwase obeye nyom be 5 obe releasing nyina no so wenye nyansa nyom bako odin kwase nyom 4 no ba be ka we abe releasing as album mama hwan akwakoto. Those days when the likes of Obrafo and all those people were releasing albums, track 1, hey, track 2, hey, track 3, hey, track 4, hey. Do you need to go buy one on iTunes? Why don't you grab the album, put it in your car and enjoy? Because now baby I there. Because people put work into making sure they achieve what they achieve. And the artist crowd was studio now, he's short of lyrics, crampua. He doesn't even call the elders at home to find out. Exactly something that Trig will do any day. Even if he needs to speak about a certain tribe, he calls somebody who is well endowed in that sectors to make sure he's getting the right information, how to even coil the language. Because in Ga, for instance, the other way, and Gans also the enemy the other way. So the right pronunciations even matters. We don't put much research in our music, and we feel like Charlie, it needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to go. I think if we take our time and put a lot of work in the songs that we produce, you realize over time, even if you release singles, you can still pile the entire thing up and then make it an album. Calculate and date back, say how many people have released songs that never made it onto their album because we all realize that those were trash and shitty songs. A typical example, not to anything, but we realize say Shatta had one of the biggest songs which was not on his album, and that was the song that we were playing. I think if you can remind me of that song, it was one of
whose songs?
Shatta. He had a very big song. That was the song that we were all playing, but it wasn't even on his album.
Yeah. And I know what you're talking about.
You understand? So what would make somebody release a song that is banging, good songs, and still that same song?
I think it's I Know My Level.
Exactly.
I Know My Level, yeah.
And it won't make it onto the album. What went into putting the album together and all that? So finally, what you realize and say that I Know My Level was doing massively, like super.
But it wasn't on the album.
But wasn't on the album.
Yeah.
So why won't I go and buy I Know My Level? Because not only is it a great tune, it's an inspirational tune that every morning when you wake up, it tells you, so no matter who you are, you have your own share in the life that we're living. So Sammy, our trash and shitty songs is the reason why we are using we are releasing EPs more instead of albums. We should learn from our old folks and know, say, let's put much work into every single project that we make. like our first, like our last, and it will go all the way to benefit.
Okay, thank you, Otin. Mike's question.
Yeah. No, but one thing we have to remember also though is that the definition of an album is constantly changing. Like what is categorized. So you mentioned Grammys. If you go on the Grammy criteria, an album is anything that has to be at least 5 songs or minimum of 15 minutes, which we would say is an EP. Do you see what I mean? Because so what they're doing is they're doing the same thing in a different way. They are not calling it EP, but they're changing their criteria for what is classified as an album. So sometimes when we are saying EP, album, well, what do you mean by EP? What do you mean? Because like I said before, it will be in a definition. Do you understand? So that's why I initially, and even when we were talking last week about the 3 music awards.
If you define your extended play as an album, then you will be limited as an extended play.
But exactly. So that's why I'm saying it's a case by case basis.
One after the other.
It's a case by case basis.
Some people use EPs. Some EPs are selected into their album of the year.
But why are you calling it EP? It's a case by case. If we so that's what I'm saying. I feel like sometimes you follow Nyema, but you're researching it, because right now the general consensus is say, EP
people are doing more EPs
is more EPs, but at the end of the day, Grammy and Kasakra now they have shortened, because if you look back for when Grammy started, that definitely I used to be a member of the academy, and this was maybe a few years ago. It wasn't 5. That wasn't the criteria. That has now been changed. I don't know exactly what year they changed it, but it keeps changing. It keeps changing. Minimum 15 minutes. 15 minutes is like a single. Back in the day, right? A single would be 5 songs, because you'd have the remixes and it was all still classified as a single.
Did for all my life.
Exactly, because you'd have the ISRC codes, which would all be in sequence, but it's all still classified as a single. So the classifications are constantly changing. So when we're making these presentations and comparisons, we have to make sure that we know the classifications. Do you see what I mean?
Thank you so much. Adam, you want to add something to it? Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about the multiple award schemes. I think it is good for our own good, because definitely when there is competition, it doesn't allow for complacency. So it means that every scheme would be a check on the other, and that will make them put their houses in order, so that we get value for money. And that aside, it also brings creativity. You see, definitely. If this scheme is doing this, you also want to do this. And what happens is that when that thing happens, they all improve themselves and get that a good scheme. That notwithstanding, you see, both award schemes have different boards, and they have different research teams. At times, some of them do not chart certain waters. There are some uncharted territories. So maybe a scheme A will not look into a certain artist.
Talk to your mic.
Will not look into a certain space. Then award scheme B will go and chart that uncharted territory and bring a certain artist out. So when somebody leaves a certain space, the other scheme will come and cover up. At the end of the day, what happens is that the industry will benefit. It delivers value for industry. And don't forget that this also comes with some level of, financial reward. There are musicians are built to perform. There are sound engineers who get work to do, lighting. There are video vixens, creative directors. So many people involved in the value chain. What it means is that their economy will boom. And when their economy booms, because there are a lot of schemes, and the music economy and all those involved in the value chain are getting gigs to play, they can improve their production. Because if you're
But to add to what you're saying, supporting you, one thing when I was talking to George that he mentioned that I thought was very interesting, I don't know the facts about it, but he said I could mention it, was that from his perspective, what he said, which was interesting, was that like the VGMAs, it's always been seen as a very heavily sponsored, obviously the Vodafone, blah blah blah, so into Scanawar, so they are always charged a lot higher by the performers and all the service providers than maybe, for example, a different award scheme who people will sympathize with them. So these are some of the dynamics that I think having healthy competition can bring the balance, but at the same time, I don't know how true, or I don't know the cost breakdowns of those things, but it's a very interesting perspective to if that's what's happening.
Yeah, so definitely it's going to boom the music economy, and it's going to set some level of standards for the scheme and for the artists, because at the end of the day, we have look at the number of, per the fact you gave, the number of artists who were nominated. Many, and you'll be surprised that some of them didn't even pop up in the 3 Music Awards, and there are some people in the 3 Music Awards who did not even pop up in the VGMAs. So at the end of the day, it delivers value for the industry. So we should support all of them so that we get the value.
Research is also putting out that as much as maybe the EP thing will not be what we have been used to, Grammy has even recognized some people's work that were also in the form of an EP. So many examples have come up. Those so many examples have come up here. Lil Nas X is the youngest male artist ever nominated for Album of the Year, and to him, at the artist, it was an EP for him called the 7 EP. And again, Coffee also won in the Album of the Year, and his to the lady, it was an EP. You understand? Yes, exactly.
So that's why I'm saying it's a classification of
semantics.
I think what we need to check is the definition for the album, because if an album says any song that has been
the duration.
No, but now what is happening is
definition, not the duration.
But there's no blanket definition anymore. This is the thing. Everybody, VGMA will classify what they classify as this is what an album is.
That's what I'm saying. Their definition.
Okay, VGMA.
Yes, exactly. They are what's their definition for.
Where is the category breakdown?
Yeah, because
this year is not out. This year is not out.
Yeah. So
and this is what I'm saying. This is why these discussions always. I don't understand why these discussions happen on this level when the first thing you should be putting out, even before the nominee announcements, is the category breakdown. So no, Biatia says, okay, album, this is what it means. Performance of the year. Does it mean performing on stage? Does it mean performance on the record? Like, let's have the categories breakdowns out so that the clarity is there.
Okay, let's do this. For now, I want us to also look at the rap performer of the year. And this one says best rap performance. Best rap performance, and the artists are all here. Amarado got nominated with his song called Best Rapper. Eno Baroni got nominated with a song called God Is a Woman. Joey B got nominated with Cold. Medical got nominated with Stop It. Sarkodie got nominated with Brown Paper Bag, and Strongman with Flawless. Let's do a quick listening. Of these songs.
So maybe when you are done.
Yeah, go ahead. We're going to do the listening.
So like this year's VGMA, it has some interesting facts. Adina, big shouts to Adina.
Yeah.
She's really worked hard. It's like he's the first lady to get that number of nomination, 11 nomination. And these are some of the nominations.
But question, you mentioned Amarado, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what's the category?
Best rap performer.
Best rap performer, right? So, for example, he's got Yetin Sem, right? Is that like, can that qualify?
No.
Why?
No, it is not Yetin Sem series that is going to qualify him to win or to be nominated.
No, but I know, but every time he does Yetin Sem, it's a performance.
Yes.
Even though it's packaged as news or whatever, he's
it depends on the song, the rapper.
So that's why I'm saying the classification is so critical.
So what? You think that to limit him to just one song is not the way to go?
Well, it depends on what VGMA.
Yes, and now that's what they are saying.
Yeah, no, but they haven't said it like in a press release to say this is the breakdown of the categories.
Relax. The category definition is what we have here.
No, we've got the categories, but we don't have the definitions.
It says best rap performance.
There's a category.
That could be anything.
No, Sammy.
It gives an idea of the definition.
Sometimes, as much as you would want it, you would also act like an industry person who knows what is happening. So if last year it was like this, and today they've changed it. Should you also wait to be told that it is this?
So, like I was talking about Dina, she had about 11 nominations, and that is like the first female to do that. Why? Reggae dancehall song with why? Best Afrobeat, Afropop, Take Care of You, Record of the Year, Daddy's Little Girl, Best Music Video, why? Songwriter of the Year, Hayden, Best Female Vocal Performance, Hear Me, Collaboration of the Year, Take Care of You, then Best Afrobeat, Afropop Artist, Album of the Year with Araba, then Artist of the Year, the main, and also she did well with the feature, that is Collaboration of the Year with Kiddy, One Man.
Is that?
I'm not getting the.
I'm saying she's the first female.
He is bigging up Adina.
To get him, yes, I was mentioning his nominations.
Yeah.
You know, the person who did that close was Ebony. He had 7 nominations.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand where that
yeah, I'll come. Yeah, listen.
Into the what?
To the
no. I
want to understand the mentioning
of
the category and everything.
Facts.
How that?
No. He said something. He said some interesting facts.
Yeah, and also if you look at
he said wait. He said some interesting facts, and the fact that Adina is one of the ladies in this year's award scheme with the biggest nominations, 11.
Ebony came close. That is the 18th edition in 2018.
Yeah. There's a fact someone might not know.
With seven nominations, and she won 4. That was posthumously.
Okay.
And the next person who came close, I'm driving at something, is Diana Hamilton. Diana Hamilton also had about.
No, but can we move because it looks like the template. So once you mention the name, then we move on.
Listen, take your time. Take your time. We are doing VGMA review. So this is what he has.
If you go to court, that was something we know. We say prima facie, like I'm laying a certain foundation for something.
Yeah.
The second person. Oh, but if you are talking, nobody interrupts you. Let us.
Don't mind.
You see, Diana Hamilton also did well.
Atin doesn't like the PR.
Diana Hamilton, we are giving facts. Also did well. Artist of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, Best Gospel Song of the Year, Best Music Video of the Year, Best Gospel Artist of the Year, Vodafone Most Popular Song. And the reason I mention these two is they are the first time we are having 2 female artists in the Artist of the Year. It tells you the body of works these 2 female artists have done. And this is something we need to commend
them for.
And that is why I mentioned the 2 and mentioned the list of nominations they had.
Okay.
And for the first time, we have 2 females fighting for the ultimate in the Artist of the Year.
Okay.
So most of the times we've talked about how the industry is not treating them well. The
industry is male dominated.
And yes, male dominated. And now we have 2 male breaking out into the ultimate. It tells us that indeed, when you do the good work, you'll be recognized. So big ups to Adina and Diana Hamilton for this wonderful feat.
Thank you so much. And then Mason Chotome. Challenge the PR radio. You are supporting the females. The female agenda. Okay, it is right. Let's do this. DJ Sticker. We are still looking at the best rap performance. Amrado got nominated with best rapper. I want us to listen to maybe someone or two. We'll be looking at some of the categories from time to time before the main scheme though. Train.